Right now, let's talk to KaRon. KaRon, why don't you come on out here? How are you?
I'm good.
Have a seat. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
How's your day today?
It's good.
Good. I wanted to get a chance to talk with you. First, I was briefly introduced to you, so your name preceded yourself.
Okay.
I was introduced to you and what you're doing by Patrick Thomas, and he let me know about Boston Heights, how you're a part of that. So why don't you tell everyone, you being the director and editor of Boston Heights, tell everyone a little bit about that.
Well, Boston Heights is 8 teenagers showing their talents, they're going hard, and I just basically put it into a reality show. So I just wanted to show, you know, everybody like, hey, Boston has talent. You know, you might not really see it because there's really or barely Boston people that make it. But I just wanted to show them like, hey, well, we have talent. If anybody wants to see it, here it is. And so I decided to make a show out of it.
You just said something very interesting, and I am priding myself on being someone who's kind of trying to usher in the awareness of the talent that's here once again, because it has been a very long time since someone from Boston, repping Boston, made it from Boston. And I really wanted to kind of ask you first, how old are you?
I'm 16.
16 years old. Wow. Okay. I feel very young. I wanted to ask you, besides the fact that you wanted to show, you know, others the talent that is here, what desire kind of built that up? Why did you feel like people have to know about what's going on here?
Because I just feel like Boston is very underrated, and I feel like everybody wants to do the same thing, kind of, sort of. And so I never really see, even though I'm not doing it just because I don't see anybody doing video directing, it's just because I really love to do it. Like, even when I was younger, my little brother, when he was trying to make like raps, he wanted to do videos, and I was like, okay, let me do it. And I had my little iPhone trying to record him. I just learned everything by myself, and I was just like, you know what, I'm really gonna stick with this. I'm gonna, you know, go hard, and as soon as I get to where I want to be, then I'm gonna just start like trying to help others, or just try to put everybody onto a good platforms, just so we can all like really get up and start going.
Yeah, and that's what's necessary for the whole group of Boston to build its awareness. Like, you know, everyone's like, I gotta go to New York if I'm gonna make it, or I gotta go to LA, California to make it. Even Atlanta now has,
because Tyler Perry's studio is in Atlanta, right?
Yes, and so even Atlanta is getting more recognition when we have the colleges, we have the schools, we have the kids that come here with all this talent and desire to learn. Now, another thing you said was you taught yourself how to do all of this. First, for all the techies out there, what program did you teach yourself on?
On iMovie.
iMovie, okay. And how did you feel about, you know, when you first kind of got in there and started playing around with it?
I was so angry at the beginning, because when we first got the computer, I was like, okay, well, can you like bring me like to Apple or somebody who knows how to, you know, edit videos so I can start learning how to do it? And then my mom and her boyfriend was just like, no, you need to learn how to do it yourself, because when you learn how to do it yourself, then you'll have your own style. And so when you have your own style, then that's how you become different from everybody else's work. And I really thank them for that, because now it's like everybody's just like, it's so different than other YouTube shows, because it looks kind of like it could be on TV, kind of, sort of. And so I was just like, well, I'm thankful that they actually let me do it myself. Cause,
yeah, it was a challenge.
Very. It took a long time, but I finally got it down.
So you're doing the directing and the editing, and you cast for the individuals, or are these all your friends?
No, I cast. I send like little memos and announcements out on my Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anything like that. And I'll just be like, hey, I'm doing a show with people with talent. If you want to, you know, do it, and then I'll explain it, and then whoever wants to, they'll email me or go through a whole audition process, and then I'll just like pick the top 7 or 8 that I think is really good for entertainment.
Yeah, nice. Now, before I forget to do this, how can people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with me via my email, KaRonWilson100@yahoo.com.
Okay. And on your social media, what is your social media?
Gemini Films on YouTube. It's the only, but it's spelled with a Z, not a S. So
Okay.
Gemini Films. And as soon as you type it up, like all my videos will pop up. It's not going to be anybody else's because I have the only one with like a Z and the Gemini films.
Okay. So. And you said you send out casting requests via Facebook and Twitter. Mm-hmm. And what's your Facebook and Twitter?
My Facebook is KaRon Wilson, and my Twitter is @GeminiFilms with a Z.
Okay, just so we get those out there really quick. Mm-hmm. Now, when you do cast for these individuals, reality TV is reality TV, but it's also a little bit of scripted. Yeah. So are you looking for particular characters? Are you looking for people to be more real, or are you playing around with some script also?
I do not like to do scripted or fake unless it's like a movie, because other than that, like movies, of course that is, but reality, I really want like people who's watching it to feel like they're actually there. So if they're like sitting at the table talking about something, I want you to feel like I'm sitting at the table with them, like watching them go back and forth, and it's like, what do I do kind of thing. So I look for people who's entertaining, who I know will give a show and just be themselves, because I don't know, I just don't like the fact when people try to put on a show because the cameras are on. I just like people to be themselves and forget that the camera's even on, and just like,
yeah, don't look at the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
So the footage that we're about to roll is the most recent, because I noticed, like you said, you do have quite a few recordings on YouTube. So it's the most recent one. Do you want to give a brief description about this one?
About Boston Heights? Okay, let's see.
Well, this particular episode, because there's a makeup artist in it, there's a stylist in this one, the choreographer, and then there's also an artist performing.
Oh, so you're talking about episode 1?
Yes.
Like, when I introduced everybody. Episode 1 is just introducing everybody with their talents and just showing like a brief little preview of their life, and then before we get into like deeper into what they're going through. And so I have a makeup artist, her name is Janai. I have a fashion stylist, her name is Katie. A dance choreographer, his name's Paul. Rapper named Cash. And I have so many others that
within it, yeah.
That's in it, but basically it's just introducing everybody.
Okay, all right. So we're going to go ahead and go to Boston Heights, episode 1, and I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
You guys take a look at this.
Sing it, we are, 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 broken ones, chasing ghosts here tonight.
Hey, it's your boy, Louis from season 3, Bad Boys Club. Here with my girlfriend Adriana, you know, love of my life, you know. This what day is, right? What is today? So, yes, exciting, loving, romantic. I could just keep going. But yeah, I got you a little something. This is from me to you. What's in here was mine, but I'm giving it to you because I need to lie. Yeah? Ooh, that'd be good. How did you like the gifts on the anniversary?
I loved them. They had sentimental value and it made me feel good.
When they did? I just want you to know I've really been loving the last 2 months. Because, you know, we argue, you know, we go through stuff. And I know it's only been 2 months, but, you know, I really care about you, bro.
My name is Janai. I am a makeup artist. I love fashion, doing makeup. I feel like makeup defines an outlook of the body and expresses who the person is. I am a person that only does appointments only. Like, you cannot just walk in and say, I want my makeup done. You have to call me personally. Yeah, actually Thursday I'm booked. Friday's fine at 2 o'clock. That's when I'm free. Yeah, perfect. Alright, gotta go. Alright, bye-bye. Who is it?
Hi, my name is Katie, and I want to be a fashion designer. The reason why I want to be a fashion designer is because I'm plus size, and I feel like there's not many clothes for other plus size girls that are really fashionable. Well, look nice. And I want to have nice clothes for big girls. And things are going pretty well. Like, we talk on Facebook. I met her on Facebook actually, and we talk on Facebook. You know, messaging back and forth. We text sometimes, stuff like that. And one day we decided to chill. It was like Friday. Yeah, we decided to chill, and we decided to like go out to eat. And when I met her in person, she didn't really look like how she looked. When I met her in person, she didn't look how she looked in her pictures, basically. And it made me really disappointed, but I'm not gonna talk to the girl anymore. That's just not happening because I feel lied to. And I feel like she should have kept it real with me and been like, I'm ugly.
Right.
I'm not digging that.
Right.
At all.
Yo, let me tell you this story, girl. You're gonna be like, what? You're gonna be like, what is that? Alright, but I was on a train coming from this photo shoot. I was doing this girl's makeup on the red line. And there was this fine man, he kept staring, like you could tell someone staring at you. So I'm like, oh, yeah, kind of blushing a little bit. But then I looked back, and then like this girl looked at me some type of way, like roll her eyes. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Like, who are you?
Right.
And then I guess that was his girlfriend, but I didn't know because the way he was looking at me, it didn't look like he had no girlfriend the way he was staring at me. You know, so I'm like, all right, whatever. So she says, can I help you? And I'm like, you gonna betray? You don't want it. So I'm like.
So that's the first introductory video to Boston Heights. First of all, you being 16 years old is just the first most impressive piece to it, because you don't catch at all a lot of 16-year-olds or teenagers who are really focused on what it is that they desire to do and what they like to do. And behind the scenes just now, we were just talking about the influence of TV, and I wanted to ask you really briefly, do you feel like through other reality TV shows that they're more of a negative influence or a positive influence, or just that's reality?
Well, I know half of it is not even reality, because I can see stuff and tell, like, oh, when I record something, I know that somebody would do something like that, you know, just for show. But it depends on what kind of reality show it is, because there are some reality shows that are, you know, really good and influential, but then there are some reality shows that's just doing it for views. Yeah. And for me,
what
I'm
do
just
you
doing it for
want
talent.
Your show to represent?
I just want them to see talent that I have, and then talent that other people have as well. And like just basically a big group of people who have talent, but to just know that, like, hey, I did this all on my own. Let me just show you how it is.
Yeah. Where are you from? Are you from Boston?
Boston, born and raised in Boston, and I live in Dorchester. Okay.
And do you think that you're going to want to eventually go to school, additional school for this?
I would. It's funny because you were just saying how people didn't want to go to California, but I really did want to go to California because they just have so many they have a lot of good film schools, and they have like one of the top 5 out there, and I just really wanted to go and experiment and see how it is, and like, you know, get a deal or get, you know, some kind of recognition, and bring it right back to Boston and go from there.
And what's funny about it is many times when you do step out of your city and get more knowledge and then bring that back, like the recognition that your city gives you tends to be a lot more impactful also. Do you ever see yourself jumping in front of the camera besides on Boss Lady News? Or do you stay away from it?
I mean, I have no issue with being on camera. It's fine. Because like even at the Boston Heights reunion, I was the host, and I was in the middle asking everybody questions. Like, it's not a big deal for me. I used to be, just because I was just so like like, oh, look at it, that's myself, and stuff like that. But now it's just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. And another thing we kind of discussed is once you kind of start doing something and you love doing it, you don't know where it can take you. And I said, you can be a big screens, movie director.
Yeah.
Is that something that you'd like to see yourself doing, or do you want to stay within like the TV reality shows type of thing?
No, my original plan when I first started filming was to be a music video director. I just loved music videos and I would watch them constantly. And I was like, if I could start being a music video director, by the time I become like Hype Williams or Vinny Boom, then that's when I was going to transition to becoming a movie director. And I mean, either way is fine. I would just love to do movies now because, you know, the big screen, it's more like a more broader
and you
experience.
may have an opportunity to do music video within the movie.
Exactly.
And so you can kind of get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah.
And this can open up your opportunities to working with all kinds of artists and mainstream artists that actually come into the Boston area. So, you know, I would just say as far as advice to make sure that you keep an eye out on any of the events that are coming into the Boston area. For you, do you see yourself being a role model?
Yeah, I would say so, just because of the fact that like a lot of older people and younger people say that I've influenced them because somebody so young is just like so driven to something. And like for myself, I don't know, because when I'm around like family or friends, I don't talk about it. Like I don't talk about filming or anything like that. I mean, they bring it up, but I just be like,
We don't want to talk about that right
exactly,
now.
because whenever I'm around family and friends, that's all I want to like do is like talk, like catch up, hang out. I don't want to talk business, but they just tell me how like proud they are of me, and it hasn't settled in yet, but it's very exciting. I would say.
Well, you should be. I understand why they're very proud of you as a mom of two, and you should be very proud of yourself. You know, just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And do you see any new projects that might be coming up in the future?
Yes, we already started taping for Boston Heights season 2.
Okay.
And we have new castmates. We have some old castmates, but it's going to be way more. It's going to look so much better, and it's going to be way more juicier, I would say.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let it be juicy, but let it be impactful, and
Of
you know,
course,
stay
yeah.
on. I say stay on the positive route of things, because that's what'll get you onto the big screen, also.
Exactly.
Okay. So one more time before we go, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you.
You can contact me on Facebook at KaRon Wilson, on Twitter at Gemini Films with a Z, or YouTube Gemini Films with a Z.
The last question I want to ask you, and we're going to bring it over to the music side for a second.
Okay.
What's one of your favorite artists, and would you ever actually want to work with them?
I like.
It's a hard question when you
yeah,
think
because
about
I'm
it.
thinking about a couple. I'm thinking about a couple of people actually. Big Sean, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Lauryn Hill. There's a lot of people I like. I really like John Legend, because I think his voice is just like so
Powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the road in the car, I like to listen to country music, which is totally different than what I like to listen to when I'm around friends.
Awesome. That's awesome. That gets you in a whole different mindset. So I want to say thank you for coming on to Boss Lady News.
Thank you for having me.
And I want you to continue. We're going to do a follow-up with you also a little bit down the road and see how episode or season 2
Is
was.
going.